Hello everyone. Today I would like to return to a favorite subject of mine, namely agave spirits, in this case mezcals, not from Oaxaca. Not to say I don't love Oaxaca, I obviously do, but I do think there are other styles and other producers out there that deserve your interest and your money. So let's try two today. One from the far southwest of Mexico in Guerrero, and another from the far northeast of Mexico in Tamaulipas. All right, let's get this started. First bottle. I do not know anything about this producer. Legendario Domingo. All I know about this is that it's the least expensive bottle from Guerrero that I could find in Morenos, which is this kind of legendary agave spirit shop in Chicago. If you are ever in Chicago and you care at all about spirits, you have to visit Morenos. You have to visit Morenos. Go to Google Maps, put a star on it. Just do it. Anyways, this is... so I knew almost nothing about this bottle. It is 100% Papalote, which is the same agave as my beloved Cupreata, which is probably a little bit better known in Michoacán, but it's also here. I mean, they're right next to each other, right? And this is distilled by the Obregón family. And there's a very complicated lot number. I will put it down below. But it's 47% alcohol. And so I am very excited to try this. No idea when this was distilled. I don't know. I'm, circa 2020 maybe, a little before and after. All right, here we go on the nose. Okay, so this is... I mean, you can tell it's Cupreata, right? It has that kind of soury, slightly funky character, but it's like there is... You hand this... There's elements in this where if you handed it to me blind, I might think there was some espadine in here. This smells like mint chocolate chip ice cream with like a dollop of also like lemon sherbet on top. Yeah, so it's like almost a dessert Cupreata, if that makes sense. It still has that kind of dairy thing that Cupreata does. There's a little smidge of fresh yogurt in there. Basil, a little bit of allspice. Like some dusty tumbleweeds in there. Cumin, maybe a little bit of like cayenne as well. Hints of vanilla, like one vanilla bean, but it's really dominated by the kind of mint chocolate chip and the lemon sherbet, lemon Italian ice, something like that. It also smells a little bit like a baked potato. There's a lot of like dill in this. There's that kind of dairy thing again. It's almost like that kind of floral thing that potato can sometimes do. Oh, and like toasted orange peels, burned orange peels, which have nothing to do with baked potatoes, but on the palate. Palate, initially, it's not quite as fun as the nose is, but it's still really good. How to describe this? Dill ice cream, something like that. Dill weed ice cream. If someone's made that, someone out there has made some ice cream with dill weed and like some basil and a little mint thrown in. Peppers, Scotch bonnet peppers. Lemon peel, orange peel. There's this kind of nice, long, kind of sweety, ashy finish. I'm tempted to say like burned marshmallow, but it's not burned marshmallow. It's something. It's just kind of sweety, ashy, bitter. There's a little bit of like a. This is way too specific a reference, but like weak hot chocolate. So my 5-year-old absolutely refuses to drink milk on its own, on her own. But what I have tried to do is to give her like very weak hot chocolate with just a little bit of cocoa in there and a little bit of sugar, just to make her a little bit happy. And there's a little of that going on here. There's a little bit of coffee elements in there too. So it's more like almost a weak cafe mocha or something. That kind of tumbleweeds and trail dust thing again. It's fun, yeah. It's. I wish I knew anything about how this is made. They're not telling me. The producers basically aren't telling me anything about what they're doing to this. But I'm curious because it's clearly Cupreata. It's got those kind of lemony, yogurty, more. How do I explain it? More sour characters, but there is this really desserty side of it too, and I'm wondering what's bringing that in. Anyways, I like this. I'm going to give it a squirt of water, and we shall come back to it. All right, this second bottle is from Derrumbes, which unfortunately just got bought out by Gallo, and that's annoying. There's the part of me that does not like oligopolies and is deeply unhappy with that. But on the other hand, like Don Fulano is still fine. They've bought a lot of other spirits and done kind of okay by them, so maybe it'll be fine. Anyways, they own Derrumbes now, but this is an older bottling. This is their Tamaulipas, which is distilled by, I'm going to get all these names wrong, Mezcalero Cuauhtémoc, I should have rehearsed for this, Cuauhtémoc Jaquez. Sorry, I'm doing the best I can in San Carlos. Now, unfortunately, Tamaulipas is probably best known right now for being, for gang violence, for, corruption, for basically all the plagues that we sometimes associate modern Mexico with. San Carlos is further away from the capital. It's further away from the border, so it's not too bad. But still, like, this is a very difficult place to get mezcal out of. Now, what's cool about this is, well, many things, but is the agave blend is Amole and Americana. Americana is not so uncommon. You'll see it it's also known as Sierra Negra. You'll see it around. It's around. Amole is extremely rare. This is the first time I've ever seen it in a bottle, so I'm very excited to try it. This is lot number 5 from January 2019, 48% alcohol. And let's see what we got. Well, that's different. Right off the bat, this smells like food. This, it smells like you took sweet and sour pork, especially the sauce, the sweet and sour sauce, and you like served that all mixed together with like tamales with like the cheese and the tamales with the cheese and the peppers, that thing. It's imagine those two foods together. Imagine like there was a really cute couple and one ran like a American Chinese food restaurant and the other like was a Mexico City street vendor, and they kind of got together and they were like, we're gonna do a fusion cuisine thing, and that's what this smells like. It's really wild, and I think I'm into it. Earl Grey tea. There's like there's a little bit of vanilla on this too, like a little bit of like a vanilla latte kind of thing. A little bit of what is something umami, like light soy sauce, but it's like light soy sauce, like the kikuman you mix some wasabi into for sushi. But also, like, there's some strawberry jam in this. This is wild stuff. Sage, a couple of rocks. It's a little bit minerally. Yeah, that is a super duper interesting nose. On the palate, mud and fish sauce. Let's start there. Uh, Chile Yeah, I mean, this tastes like food. Actually, like, this is really pleasant to drink on its own. This strikes me, and I don't say this often about spirits that aren't like baijiu. This would be really good with food. Like, I'm not even talking about. I mean, I'm sure regional cuisine would go regional really really well with this. But give me like a kielbasa and like some little potato dumplings and a glass of this, and I think I'd be really happy. Yeah, like stuffed chilies, Earl Grey thing again. Yeah, the bergamotty thing. Ooh. Cherry pits. So a little bit of like a German cherry eau de vie Kirschwasser kind of thing. Like mushrooms sautéed in soy sauce or maybe teriyaki sauce. Black pepper. Like zucchini, but like zucchini that's like a little burned. Like you left it in the oven too long. Sage again, like rocks and minerality again. Just very, very savory. Super fun, and again, I think this would be killer with food. Curious to see what this does with water. Okay. Back to the Guerrero. Let's see what happens here. On the nose. Yeah, so the central notes, that kind of like mint and Italian ice, lemon Italian ice thing, kind of concentrate, and everything else kind of pulls back a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very Cupreata, but it's also just like kind of delicious in a way that you've got to get with a lot of more mainstreamy, especially espadín-based mezcals from Oaxaca. Okay, on the palate. So more of a kind of white pepper, kind of character, kind of texture, kind of rolls in, but the finish feels like it falls off a little bit when you add water. No, it's not too bad. Yeah, yeah, it just kind of gets a little clipped, a little dumb. Um, I still like it, and it does, it gets a little bit presents a little sweeter with water. Maybe it does have that peppery thing, but I liked it better neat. I feel like it was more of a complete spirit before I added the water. So, yeah, it's a fun bottle. It's a great, let's call it espadin alternative. That is not too much money. If you were looking to explore beyond the world of espadin-based Oaxaca mezcals, this is a great first stop. I'm going to give this 86 minus. It's really like a half minus because it doesn't really... Not 86 minus, just because, it does kind of get a little bit, it loses a little bit when you add water. So 86 minus. Okay, moving back to the Derrumbes. All right, on the nose. Oh man, some dried tomatoes now. I mean, it's doing a lot of the same stuff. That kind of like sweet and sour pork, Mexican sweet food thing, street food. Throw maybe some like red curry in there. If this first one, the Guerrero, is like an easy lateral play for folks who are looking to explore beyond Oaxaca but want to keep it safe, this is the one for the veterans who've basically tried everything and just want something that's a little bit wackadoo. This is really out there. On the palate. It's wackadoo, but God, it's good. Sweetens up a little bit, and more importantly for me, it's gained a little bit of weight. Much more kind of much more mouth presence, better mouth feel. Finish feels like it's hanging on a little bit longer. It's still very, very savory. It's still very like linear and punchy. But yeah, the quality on this is super duper high. And yeah, I honestly cannot say I've tried anything like this. I'm going to give this 87 points. And if you can hunt this down, I think it's worth a grab. It was not super duper expensive. And if you're looking for something different, oh man, this is different. So that's the video. The Legendario Domingo Guerrero gets a respectable 86 minus. I really enjoy it. As a kind of more friendly and ready to play version of Cupreata. And the Derrumbes Tamaulipas it's just something else, and I highly recommend it for that reason. 87 points. Thanks for watching, and cheers.